here we go. We've had our introductions and now we're going to start with the packing bit. So I've just started recording and yeah, those folks who are on, I've told them to jump in and interrupt and ask questions as needed. And I'm going to go through a couple of things and I'm going to show you basically how to pack your bag. I'm going to start with what I have on is part of my gear. So I have on my hiking trousers. I have on a hiking top that is actually a tank top. And then I have on a long sleeve on top of that and a hat that probably on this June trip you don't need. And one of my pairs of socks and my big boots. Okay, so I'm going to wear my big boots on the plane so they don't have to go on in my suitcase. That's kind of a major space saver. So yeah, so this is my main outfit that I'll probably wear most days. And I might wear shorts and a tank top because it's going to be warm. But probably what I'm going to do, these pants also roll up and become capris. Probably what I'm going to do is start out warm because it's going to be in the morning and a little bit cool, but I'll have a layer that I can take off and throw in my backpack. Sometimes I think the main reason I carry my backpack, it's almost empty when I leave in the mornings. It's just to put the layers in that I take off as I go, and then to have it with me to pull a sweater back out when we sit down if you get a little bit chilly. Okay, so I'm going to start with backpacks. This is my backpack I carry, and I carry it it's the one that I'm linked to on the packing list. I carry it just because it's so comfortable and it's my most comfortable one I have, but it is absolutely more backpack than you need. So for this trip, because all you really need to carry is water, raincoat, some snacks and money, and maybe one more layer that you take off. So definitely you don't need something this big, but I do love this pack for the comfort of it. So here's a couple other options. Most of you by now have your pack. This is like a little bit smaller, but it still has fairly like padded straps, as you can see. So they're going to be like comfy and not cutting into me. It has a waist strap, but it's just this like thinner buckle. And it has a strap to strap here. So I do think it's more comfortable if your backpack has a strap here and a strap around your waist so that you can make adjustments to either get the weight off your shoulders or off your hips if one of those two places is starting to bother you. If you keep your pack pretty empty, the weight shouldn't bother you much at all. And then the last pack I have is like this little tiny weighs nothing. So if you really know yourself and you want to be real lightweight, you could carry something like this. It still has a pocket for water, but it's basically if it's empty and you haven't taken off the sweater, you don't even feel it on your body. So I think you mentioned, somebody's texted me about like really not wanting to feel something on your back. So you could do something like that. You could even do like a good size bum bag, like fanny pack kind of thing, that if it has a water bottle pocket, I see people using those too. So you kind of know yourself. If you're the kind of person who really kind of likes to have anything I might need, then you might go something more this size. But if you're somebody who wants to just walk out the door and have not much hanging on you, then you might go like real small. So I'm going to just, since this is kind of the medium, I'm going to say that this is the pack. That's the one I'm going to use for the live packing. Okay, and then I have a few more just optional things I want to mention. I think that I don't personally use packing cubes, but I think they can be helpful, especially if you have trouble like limiting yourself. So you could get to this size or to this size, and I would say one's my hiking clothes and one's my evening clothes and pajamas to help yourself not bring more than, because it's just so easy to add one more shirt, one more. So if you want to really limit, you can use, I think packing cubes are a great way to make hard limits for yourself. Then some other optional things before I talk about just the main clothes. You sometimes need an ankle brace or a knee brace. If you find yourself to be the kind of person who sometimes has a little old injury that sneaks back up on you, definitely you'll want to include those kinds of things. Our places where we stay do not have washcloths. In Europe, they don't seem to use washcloths, or people bring their own from home. So if you like to have a washcloth when you bathe, I would bring something that's very fast drying. So this is like that microfiber towel material. It's like real fast drying. So you could bring that if you need a washcloth, then you can hang it up. It'll be dry, easy, so you can put it back the next morning. Sunglasses are another optional. Those probably would be nice to have in June. I am expecting sun for this trip. I have like a beanie on and I have one here. I am not expecting to super need this. So this is something I might leave behind. But again, if you look at the temperatures right before we leave and it seems like it's cool, you might throw one in. A swimsuit. Some of the places we're staying have swimming pools. I am going to use a sports bra and underwear for my swimsuit, or just sports bra and shorts. Partly because if I'm hot enough to jump in the pool, I probably want to do it right at the end of the day when I'm finished walking, and not want to go like change into a swimsuit. And that's one less thing I want to carry. But if you don't like to swim, not in a swimsuit, you might bring that. If you want to, since I'm recommending you don't bring tons of clothes, if you wanted to bring a couple of Tide Pods to do laundry like halfway through the week, you could throw those into your liquids. I will probably wash out my undergarments in the sink and hang other things up to air, but there is laundry available. Another optional thing is a scarf to carry. The reason maybe I would keep something like this is if you end up wearing a tank top, when you walk into a church, you've got to have your shoulders covered. So you can either like pull your rain jacket or your sweater out of your backpack and put it on, or you could have like a little something you can throw on your shoulders so that you don't enter churches without. So I'm going to go ahead and as I'm naming these things, put them in. This is my suitcase. See, it's not like the biggest carry-on, but it's not teeny tiny. And it has an extender, and I'm gonna pack it with the extender closed because I'm assuming maybe I want to bring home a little thing or two at the end of the week. So I'm gonna keep the extender closed. You can go ahead and as I'm naming things. So even though these things are all optional, and I may not bring most of these, I'm just gonna show you that it does all fit into your carry-on. This is a headband or a bandana. Nice for hair. I sometimes travel with a journal and a pen, like these things have. Again, these are things that you don't have to bring, that can be nice. You really don't need to bring like a lot of food. There's so many places to buy snacks and food. We'll pass little shops, but you might bring one or two energy bars just for like a pinch, especially if you have you know yourself, you have a bar you really like to eat that has a good protein and gives you a good little, you might throw a few of those in. Maybe like tea bags. Again, that's something that will be widely available, so you don't really need it. And I carry electrolytes to put in. I carry 2 water bottles. I'll show you that, but I just find those nice for like if you just a little energy, or sometimes I just have one at the end of the day, drink to kind of rehydrate, especially if it's hot. And then masks, of course, you'll need like an N95 mask for the airplane, maybe, I think, who knows what the regulations are going to be. And then I wear a cloth mask on my wrist while I'm hiking, just to walk. The last time I went, we still needed to have a mask on everywhere that we went inside, especially because the Camino is so international. I feel like the locals really are enforcing the masks for their own protection, since so many people are coming in from all over the world to walk it. So I keep a mask handy. I'm gonna do that. I carry a tiny little shopping bag so that if I'm out and I buy something, I can throw it in the shopping bag. This can double as a purse at night. So since I'm bringing my backpack and the suitcase, I don't also want to have a purse hanging off with me. So I'm able to do that. And then I will be carrying a pretty hefty first aid kit. So I don't feel like you need to carry one. You might just bring yourself a couple, like a little bit of moleskin for blisters, or a Band-Aid, or a few things. But I'll have all that as well in the first aid kit. So you don't need to bring that. Another thing I'm loving for hiking these days is this is like KT tape. This is like whatever Walgreens brand. I'm loving that for blisters and for any kind of like sore places on your body. And I carry scissors so you can cut up. It's just like a roll of tape. Put it on the places that are sore. So again, that's optional. I'll carry some of that as well, but if you know you want some of that, you can bring some of that. And then a charger or like an adapter for your phone. So you might have for traveling already, like one of those bricks that you can use in any country. That's great. You can just throw that in. Don't buy something new. If you are buying something new, I would buy the smaller thing that's just for Europe. So this is the Europe plug with these two little round things. And then like that's what I use to charge my phone. So instead of carrying the brick, I'll carry just that. It's just a little smaller. And then I have an extra charging block that I'll carry, mainly because I have maps and things on my phone. But if you're going to, during the day, put your phone on airplane mode, which I recommend if you don't want to pay for an expensive international phone plan, then your phone will stay charged all, if it's on airplane mode, it'll stay charged all day without an exterior brick. So again, those are like kind of the optional things. Let me say one more thing about the phone. If you do know that you want to have a plan while you're abroad, you can call your phone company and ask them, what they can do. But you can also purchase a SIM card ahead of time on the internet or after you arrive. If you want to put a SIM card in your phone, it's like $20 for like as long as you'll be in Europe, and then you would have data while you're in Europe, which means that you can communicate with your family wherever you were on WhatsApp or Signal. So you wouldn't have like normal phone texting and calling, but you could still do over data. So if you have any questions about that, we can come back to that later. I have a set of headphones that I'll mainly just use on airplane. Throwing those in. Okay, so that is the optional stuff. Now I'm going to kind of get to the clothes. Like I said, I've got my boots on my body, but I like to have some shoes to change into. At the end of the day, I'm ready to get my boots off. If your tennis shoes are really comfortable and you're not planning to wear boots, you might could get by with just your tennis shoes. If you do bring something to change into at night, though, I recommend it be something you can still walk around in quite a bit, because we'll still like walk to dinner and walk, and the roads are kind of uneven. And so you want something, easy to walk around in. So not like a little cute heel, or even like you could wear flip-flops if you don't mind walking. I'd say wear something you could walk at least a half a mile in for the evening. So anyway, so for me, that's my Chacos. Those are super comfortable, and I wear them with socks if it's cold at the end of the day. Then for clothes, I'll bring 3 pairs of wool underwear that I'll just rinse out in the sink with some soap at night. So I'll like wear one, rinse one, one's ready for tomorrow, kind of thing. Have one on, here we go. Same for socks. So I'll probably just do 2 socks. So I have a pair on, and then here's a pair going in the bag. And then also same for sports bra. So I have sports bra, one on, one in the bag. So I'll wear one, rinse one, or air one out. I will take hiking trousers like pants that roll up and become capri pants, but then I'm also going to bring hiking shorts. So both my hiking trousers and my shorts, if they got wet, dry pretty quickly. So they're like kind of a thin, stretchy material that dries really quickly. And one more, so I have a tank top, then I have a short sleeved wool shirt that I can rinse out and air, and then I have this long sleeved wool. And then I'll bring 2 of one of those. Probably the weather's going to be hot, so I'll bring 2 tank tops. I have one more tank top. One thing I want to say about a tank top, though, is want to be sure that it is the kind, if you're wearing a backpack, obviously, that's big enough that when your backpack is on it, it's not bothering your shoulder. So I would say when the weather gets warm, trial any tank top or really any clothes that you want to bring, because I have tank tops like a spaghetti strap one. It's too thin, and my backpack strap rubs on my skin. So both the one I have on, in fact, the one I have on is like a fishing, it's like a fishing tank top, and I really love it for how wide you know, it like comes all the way out. So it really, like, my backpack doesn't like hold, you know, doesn't bother me at all in like a wider tank top. So, or a t-shirt, or, you know, so I probably would bring 2 tank tops, or I would bring 2 t-shirts. I don't think necessarily we need 2 long sleeves. I feel like the weather's going to be warm enough that we're going to want to hike in either a tank top or a short sleeves. So, then I also have a rain hat / sun hat. So you could use a ball cap for that. This is the hat I usually wear. Then I am bringing something to sleep in at night, just like a little tiny shorts and t-shirt to sleep in. And then for at night, I have leggings and this little dress. And the dress is really optional because people don't really dress up. I feel like, I mean, I'll still have on like my hiking boots or my sandals. So I may not bring this, but because everybody that's on the Camino is hiking, and you can get something, especially if you're a shopper, like to go buy something new in Santiago for like our celebration dinner, then I wouldn't pack anything. But if you do pack something, I would have it be something you wouldn't mind wearing over and over each night. So like when we get in, we'll get settled, take a shower, and then you want something clean to put on your body, but it could be clean t-shirt or long t-shirt. I will probably wear leggings and a long sleeved, something just black, and also something that's a little bit warmer because, like I said, in the evenings, I feel like the temperature can kind of drop. And for that reason, I still have on the list bringing a little bit warmer jacket. So like I said, this is my thinnest puffy, partly because at night, sometimes where we're staying will be just a little bit chilled, and your body temperature is dropped because you've been hiking all day and you're tired. So sometimes you just need a little something warmer to wrap up in. It could be so hot that you never end up needing it. And so if you know yourself and you know your temperature, you know that you tend to run warm, then you might not bring that, because also you want to throw in a raincoat. So like you could just use a raincoat for if you got caught. Your rain jacket could double as a jacket to keep you warm if you do that. So here we go. That's all in. The last things are, I told you I've got these 2 water bottles so that I am like even on my pack and I don't have one big water bottle on one side. But on this last trip, I almost only ever used one because the water fountains occur so often that I could just fill it up again, and I wasn't drinking the other one. But it's gonna be a little warmer when we go, so I would say to either have something that's a full 32 ounces, a full like liter, or 2 of these. Or if you're a person who prefers a water bladder, that's fine as well. You can do a water bladder that hangs, especially if you kind of know that you drink more water. If you've got a little spout hanging right here, if you're better about drinking water that way, then you could definitely just bring a bladder. But I had a girl bring a bladder on this last trip, and she just didn't fill it all the way up, so her pack wouldn't be so heavy. Sometimes those bladders carry way more water than you need in the day. Okay, so then toiletries. Again, I'm just like smallest possible toiletries. I get these little tiny, I've got these at like samples at makeup counters. So I have like, I just fill up old things with my moisturizer, and then I've got one with sunscreen. I have one with like what I put on my hair. I have some toothpaste. I have some a little essential oil roller, chapstick. Those are my Tide Pods. Those are all the liquids because you're flying and you know they want you to pull your liquids out. I put my liquids in a front pocket of this bag so that they're handy and easy to get out when it's time to go through security. After security, I'll put that in my little tiny toiletry sack. So you're welcome to. I don't bring any makeup or besides like some chapstick and some like sunscreen I put on my face because it's sweaty and, but if you want to, that's fine too. I bring a few little hair ties, earplugs in case your roommate snores a little bit or that there's loud stuff going on outside. I bring a bar of soap and it also doubles as my laundry soap, toothbrush. I have a tiny little sewing kit and nail file. And then this is like, I have my, any kind of medicine, pills I take, or Advil, I just put in these tiny little Ziploc bags. You can get them at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And yeah, I just put all those together in one bag, like all the Tylenol I need for the week, or all the Advil I need, and a few cut up pieces of moleskin. I have like a package of moleskin, but I go ahead and cut up a few and have that. So all that, and there's still plenty of room in there for my liquids that I took out and put in the front of my bag. So that's my toiletries in. The last thing I've got is my little thing that holds my passport. You want something that will hold like your passport and your vaccine card. I love these little thin things because they'll fit under your clothes, especially if you're traveling before and after at all. These are super handy. So it's got my passport in it and my vaccine card, which you need, of course. And then I carry a tiny change purse to put my euros in because you end up with lots of euros in change. Like a €1 is a coin, €2 is a coin. So it's nice to have something that zips that has change. And then I will bury my passport in the bottom of my backpack during the day while I'm hiking. So I won't put that in the bag to be transferred because it's valuable. But I'll keep my little few euros change purse handy, either in the front pocket of my backpack or in the pocket of my trousers. So I've got that. So I'll have that like handy while I'm hiking. So it's nice to have something separate to put your money in, but you don't need like a whole purse. You can bring a whole purse or a whole big wallet if you want, but like I be sure to go through my little wallet and I leave like my library card and my grocery store checkout card and all those things at home, so that all I have is my credit card, my debit card that I use to get euros when I get there, and then my euros. And I even take my debit card and put it back in with my passport. And so in this little thing, I'm only carrying my credit card and my cash. And then that's right there, or it could go in the front. And then so if you can see, let's see if I can show you, I still have quite a bit of room in my pack. It's not even like jammed. So I haven't put anything in this pack, which is a great way to pack for a couple of reasons. If you bring this full and this full, then when you're ready to hike, you're more locked into having to carry a lot of stuff in this pack because you don't have room for it over here. Also, if you want to get a few things in Santiago, Santiago is an amazing city. You can fill up this whole pack if you want, plus you have a little room in here, and you can undo your suitcase to buy things in Santiago. You don't have to. The other reason I like to do it this way is then I can even get my pack in. And then when I get on the airplane, especially for an overnight flight, I have nothing at my feet. I just like stick my headphones in my pocket. I have room down below. This guy goes in the overhead container and I'm like free, and I don't have to pack on anything. So I feel like, of course, it's fine to bring your pack and this on the plane. They certainly allow that, but this is it's just my preferred way of going about it, because then you have an empty backpack and plenty of space for the things that you don't want to bring with you each day on the trail in your carry-on suitcase. So that's the packing. I believe that's everything. I don't think I forgot anything. I'm gonna pause this recording and then we'll see if we have any questions. Thanks, y'all.